Hey gamers, MelodyGaysharks here. This video that you're going to see was going to be part of a big, longer video where we talked about a bunch of cartoon video game episodes. And me and Iris watched a bunch of those. We watched a lot of them, and we'll probably refer to some of them in this. And we had a lot of fun things to say. And then my drive crashed and I lost all that footage. This is the only surviving footage we have, and it's of the 2 Johnny Test episodes that we watched, which were by far the worst ones. So, please enjoy.
That episode made me want to do an entire podcast about Johnny Test. Just being real. It might make us watch this whole show after that.
Johnny Test is such a show. I watched it all the time as a kid. But yeah. So this is one of the episodes that has been stuck in my craw for a while. Brain-wise, because it is specifically a Pokemon parody.
Yes.
And I believe it came out, probably not when Pokemania was at its peak, but probably a little bit after that, roughly when I was, getting into Pokemon. Yeah. So I've always been a little into this, And so for this one, Johnny is obsessed with Tinymon, with Blast Ketchup, and they go inside the game.
That's such a weird thing about this one, too, because, it's clearly, a parody of the Pokemon anime. But they go into a game to do it, and it's mostly it almost feels like someone who only knew Pokemon through the anime, but knew that it came from a video game originally and just kind of built it around that. That's almost kind of how it felt to me.
Yeah, it's very much it's very much like someone watched Pokemon a few times and went, "Oh, okay, this is kind of weird. Let's do a parody of it." But it has enough. It does have enough there that I do think somebody working on it did like Pokemon.
Yeah.
I think the bit at the end, basically it's very clearly oh, Johnny loves Pokemon, and
yes.
They're trying to find the legendary Pokemon Screecherine, which is clearly Lugia. It's it's just Lugia, but it's actually Shadow Lugia. It might have been Pokemon XD was coming around this time.
I think that would have been because around this time, because Johnny Test started in 2005.
So it's
I think Gale Darkness came out in 2006.
It's very Screecherine is just Shadow Lugia. We have Shadow Lugia at home, but it is Shadow Lugia. And and they do kind of, the way it works is they find Screecherine because they get Cuddlebug, which is the lamest one. Nobody likes it. Everyone hates it. It's the dumbest thing. Can't fight. And that's the only one they can find, and then one of the sisters...
have we mentioned that the sisters send Johnny into the game, and Johnny has to win the game in order to get out of the game?
Yeah,
just
that's
in Jimmy Neutron.
They've done that in pretty much almost how many of these have they?
It's usually
Jimmy
either you have to
Neutron,
win the game to get out of it, or
Timmy,
if you die in the game, you die in real life.
Yeah,
it's usually that
Phineas
sort
and
of thing.
Ferb did that one too. It's a very pretty much all of the go into the game ones did that.
Yeah,
it's
and
very
this is another
common.
one of those.
It would be probably not a very good go into the game episode if you could just leave.
Yeah, but Johnny and the dog are in there trying to get something, and they're unsuccessful. The sisters come in after them, and they're all failing to find anything, and they're okay, let's settle with Cuddlebuns because literally the only one we can get. And Johnny's no, Cuddlebun sucks. You can't even train it, which is not a thing that applies to any Pokemon as far as I know. But that's the gimmick of this Pokemon. You can't actually train it. You can't level it up apparently, and it's the only one that they can get. Sorry, Tinymon. That's what these are called. Yeah.
And then at the very end, it looks like he's gonna get fucking owned by Blast Ketchup and Kadoomerang, and then and finally one of the sisters shows it affection by kissing it, and then suddenly it evolves into
it's a Sylveon apparently.
Yeah, it's a. I was thinking more of Magikarp because Magikarp is kind of the one where it starts
out
really
I was thinking of Pokemon that evolves through
mega...
love, but
yeah.
But yeah,
more
Magikarp is more what it's based on.
Yeah, and then it fucking kills Blast Ketchup. That's not a joke.
No,
he's fucking dead.
He just
obliterates. Don't kill a body. There's just a smoking crater.
Yeah,
he's dead. That's the fifth fucking person who's died in these fucking things?
I remember a person who worked on a regular show once said that the only way they could kill people is if it was in an explosion and it was funny somehow. And that feels like that's what applied here. They killed Blast Ketchup in this scene. He was just a smoke, just a spot of smoke on the wall after Screecherine did a big laser. And
Yeah, so and then at the very end, they get out of the game, and the dad is mad because they took the car's transmission.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they fucking they take the transmission from the car and throw it attach it to their machine so they can put it in reverse and send Johnny into the game. And then the dad goes in the car and he fucking rolls down the street and is implied to have gotten into like a 10 pile car.
Yeah, a bunch of people probably
pile
died.
up or something. Yeah, likely people.
It was his fault for being misogynistic.
That's right. He starts the episode by saying, "There's two things I don't understand: Tinymon and women."
Yeah, it's incredible.
What a thing to say.
Yeah, Johnny Test is like, I don't know. It's that kind of bad show that just makes me laugh.
It's so funny, but like not really intentional.
I know.
Yeah, it's insane to watch. Yeah.
It's just like, it is such an experience. It was a weird thing with Johnny Test too, because I know the show is from 2005, which is when I was watching cartoons, but I don't believe it aired on Cartoon Network until a few years later, if I recall. I think it started airing in like 2008, somewhere around there. And I remember that because I thought of it as a show that came out like later than it actually did, because I viewed it as one of those shows like Chowder and Phineas and Ferb that started like slightly after I stopped watching cartoons. Except weirdly, I have actually seen a lot of Johnny Test. Because I distinctly remember there was one day. The reason I have seen so much Johnny Test is because I was sick from school one day with the flu or something.
Oh yeah.
And I literally sat on the couch. I was not able to get up. I like felt like just in like I had no energy to do anything. So the TV was left on in the background, and I was like feeling like nostalgic or whatever. So I was like, I'll put on Cartoon Network. And what were they airing? An all-day, 24/7 Johnny Test marathon.
Oh my god!
They were airing that, and I was literally also playing Pokemon Emerald just on this couch.
Ooh.
And that was like my whole day. I sat there watching Johnny Test and playing Pokemon Emerald.
Honestly, soun's kind of pog.
It was. It made me feel like a kid again, even though I literally was a kid.
Yeah.
But you know.
When I'm 13.
Me when I'm 13.
God, I missed being a kid 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, that was literally what I was doing, and that's why I've seen so much Johnny Test. And also, it's also why I need to see more Johnny Test. Like we need to like.
I'm kind of fascinated by it. I might take you up on that. I distinctly remember being a kid, and I was with my dad at work. He was working at a place, and he brought me and my brother, and we were sitting in the room watching TV in the morning. It was like a Saturday morning, and they were premiering Johnny Test. On the TV in that room, and I distinctly remember like watching it come on for the first time, and I was like, "Whoa, this sounds like Green Day!" Whoa, and doing like that whole little episode, and it would be on Saturday mornings from then on, and I loved Saturday morning cartoons, so I would always tune in to see Johnny Test.
Now, to be clear, this is going in D. This is the worst one of all of them. I just want to be 100% clear about that.
Quality-wise, I can't defend this.
But it was the best advertisement for any of these shows so far. It's like, damn, I gotta watch this whole show after watching this. Like...
No, quality-wise, I can't defend Johnny Test. It looks like it has not aged gracefully.
Newgrounds ass animation.
It looks like a Newgrounds, and the jokes are not particularly funny. The bit is just like, anime sure is weird, right?
Yeah, they're doing a whole like weird, vaguely racist anime
Speed Racer dub bit that hasn't been like funny since like what, the 90s? I don't know. It was dated when I was a kid. This Speed Racer talking. Haha, I want to talk like a bad
really funny
anime
too.
Dub.
It's so funny because they do a joke at the start all about look how corny and cheesy and like low budget Pokemon is. Look at how silly the voice acting and animation is. And it's like, you're Johnny Test, bro. What are you talking about? Where do you get
Sorry,
off?
Pokemon. Get out of the way, Pokemon. Johnny Test is talking.
So fucking good.
While Pokemon is busy raking in millions from their franchise, we're gonna make fun of it.
Johnny Test, Pokemon made a lot of money. Johnny Test changed the world, and it changed the hearts of millions,
that's true.
Including mine today. And that's why I feel like, are we gonna do? We saw something when we were looking at this episode. Are we gonna go on? Are we gonna do more?
You know what?
Are we gonna watch Return of Tinymon?
Let's watch Return of Tinymon. Let's fucking do it.
Let's do it. There's a part 2. There's a part 2 to this series.
To this episode,
Plot
so
twist.
we're gonna watch that.
Okay, let's go watch it.
We just decided that right now. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right, that episode sobered me up. I no longer want to do a Johnny Test podcast. I don't know if I could take 117 episodes.
This show is such a thing. Like, boy.
Yeah, that was Return of Tinymon.
It's like a sensory assault.
Yeah, it really
the whip cracks, the animation.
I didn't notice the whip cracks in the first one. This time I noticed them really hard. They were happening
never noticed them
second.
until somebody pointed, until that became a meme online that Johnny Depp uses whip cracks all the time. I never noticed. And now that I have, I can't unsee it, or unhear it, I mean.
Yeah.
It's... Boy. What do you even say?
I don't know.
It's more of the same.
Yeah, it's this episode starts out with a new Tinymon game coming out.
Yeah, Tinymon.
Yeah, and Johnny goes to the GameStop with his dog to pick it up. And this is the immediate first red flag for me, is that the games are named Tinymon Crystal and Jade versions. And Jade is not the name of a real Pokemon game, but Crystal is. So that's lazy. That's
and they were it was one game put together.
Yeah, it was one game put together. Yeah, Tinymon Crystal and Jade version was one game instead of two separate ones.
Game.
Like, come on, y'all.
And then so they go in and they've got like a DS that has like 4 screens, and Johnny's trying to beat it. They have like tiny decks, and now they've like elaborated a little bit more on Tinymon stuff.
Mm-hmm. And
so it makes
one of their names
sense.
is Baddyass.
There's Baddyass and Badoomerang. I don't know why they're all boomerangs. So do they like boomerangs over there in Canada? I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah, and
Canada's basically just Australia.
Canada, Australia, same thing. They both have ground. So then Johnny's dad gets captured by Blast Ketchup, and you brought up last time that that Blast Ketchup seems vaguely racist, and I've started to feel that way, along with his sidekick kid who looks like, I think he's based on the sidekick kid, I forget what his name was, Sprindle or something, in Speed Racer. Which is weird because Speed Racer doesn't have anything to do with Pokemon, but also it does feel a little.
For some reason, the Speed Racer bit is what they're doing here.
Yeah,
because it's just anime.
Yeah, it's very. I don't know. Don't like it. It's very dated. I'm not a fan. And so there's more of that. And also, I wanted to note that the Tinymon, the Timu Pokemon, they look more like Neopets to me, which is not. Just an observation.
They definitely don't look like Pokemon.
Except the ones that are clearly Pokemon.
Well, aside from the one that's just literally Lugia.
That's just literally... There's another one that's also literally Baddyass, which is...
Yeah, it's just a Lugia reskin again.
And then Badoomerang, which kind of looks like Star Platinum. And and they have to fight Blast Ketchup again, and I low-key started thinking, are they just doing this because, this episode is just 8 episodes down. Are they just doing this because they want to reuse the assets?
Yeah, that's what it felt like, because this episode also starts out with a really long recap of the previous episode, which you literally did not have to do. You don't need to see that episode to understand this episode. It's the same thing. Like,
it's the same bit,
but they explain it all anyway in an over elaborate intro that they then they lampshade how long the intro is after they get done with it. And it's pretty obvious this episode was done on a shoestring budget and a very tight deadline, and they just had to find a way to reuse a whole bunch of assets and get this out there.
And it's
that
kind
was
of
all
gone
this
from Pokemon, it's from vaguely video gamey parody to just Pokemon bit. That's just the kind of... It's not really even very gamey. They do a thing at the end where he, transfers the power points or whatever. Power points are not a thing in Pokemon. I don't know where they came up with that, but they say it's, power points or, your power level or whatever. And he transfers them all into Dad and Dookie, and they evolve into super
into
forms.
terrible designs.
Terrible designs, and they win the fight, and then they go back to the real world, but they're still in their super forms, and that's the...
And Blast Ketchup is still there, and then
Blast
Dookie
Ketchup
kills him.
also runs in, and Dookie kills him again. This is... this is a show.
This is a show about a boy named Johnny Test.
Yeah.
What else? What more can you say?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're adding a new row for this one, F rank. So.
Okay, here I go. I'm gonna add in. You know what? I'm just gonna call this Johnny rank.
Johnny rank.
Johnny Test.
Okay.
Johnny Test gets its own rank.
Yeah. That's totally valid. Johnny Test deserves its own tier. I think we can all agree.